Welcome to Archer Recap for Season 7, Episode 8, Liquid Lunch. Slater's back. Everyone's excited about that. I'm not. So let's get into the summary real fast. The hungover Archer is warned by Cyril that Slater has approached Mallory for a job. Lana wants to accept due to AJ's tuition being very high. Archer begrudgingly agrees. Slater explains that he wants to stop an MK-Ultra escapee from assassinating a Russian diplomat. Archer has no questions not regarding old movie stars. Go to the theme song and then Act 1. Everyone's favorite flyer has struck again, and Slater explains that his options are limited due to MK-Ultra being very, very illegal. Archer, it turns out, is very well versed in international law regarding medical experiments. And everyone is very horrified by what the CIA has been doing, except Slater. Slater is obviously defensive, but he reveals that MK-Ultra's real goal was mind control. Nobody thinks this is better. At the agency, Mallory defends her decision to work with Slater by explaining her pool needs repairs. Classy, Mallory. The gang debates whether MK-Ultra actually could work. Krieger, of course, says he can hypnotize everyone. If he can, the gang needs to go see Krieger's very racist one-man show. Of course, Krieger intends to use a mind control drug, because he's Krieger. Back with Slater and the gang, Lana is still very mad about Veronica Dean. Slater is understandably annoyed by the arguing and points them to an informant. Act break. We go to Act 2. The informant is kind of an insane introvert, and he proceeds to shoot at everyone. At the agency, Krieger proceeds to drug Pam, then Cheryl, then Cyril. Mallory turns out is immune to zombie drugs, and she beats Krieger into submission, leaving him with a high-heel shoe in his chest. It's actually very cathartic, given how creepy Krieger's been this season. The interrogation of the informant isn't working well until Slater suggests waterboarding. Archer, it turns out, was never waterboarded. Lana is not happy about this, and they decide to waterboard Archer. This is not a good idea. We go back to an act break, and then when we come back, Archer is clearly totally broken from waterboarding. He compares it to actually drowning, which apparently he forgot about. Lana is not happy that Archer confessed that he still has feelings about Veronica Dean, and they begin arguing again. At the office, Ray has become mad with power over the drugged Cyril, Pam, and Cheryl, having them act like pug dogs. Krieger decides to film everything. Lana and Archer continue to fight about Veronica Dean and confront the MK-Ultra agent. Archer's plan to sneak up on him fails, and the agent falls off the roof and onto Slater's car. And it turns out Slater was probably lying about the whole situation again, because the agent says some things that imply MK-Ultra isn't even about mind control. Slater is understandably pissed because he wanted the agent alive, and then he says he was never going to pay them either way. Lana has had enough and decides to break up with Archer in the aftermath of this. At the agency, the gang comes out of the drug haze. Ray is confused about how Mallory suffered no ill effects, as it seems Krieger managed to actually hypnotize her, but it turns out Krieger has robots for everyone, and it's very, very sinister. And that is how the episode ends. A lot of stuff in this episode. Not very funny. If you didn't hate Slater before, I think you do now. What did you think, Mark?
I don't know exactly. I felt for a second like a knee-jerk reaction. This almost seemed fillerish, but then again, no, because it's tied to a few things.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it was intended to be, and they just then attached parts to it to make it not filler.
I don't...
Like, it didn't seem... It's... They made no mention of, like, oh, wait, didn't we blacklist you? Like... And he even says, though...
He went to them specifically because the CIA can't operate on U.S. soil. But he always goes to them Specifically when he needs a mission to be fucked up.
And he even said that his other options were worse.
Yeah.
Oh, so people that would probably get the job done.
Yeah. Everything about Slater. I think we're going to find out at some point that he's probably a rogue agent.
It was really funny when, at the end of the episode, he was just so angry at Archer. He actually put the gun up to him, and it's like,
Yeah.
He's so frustrated, but he's not going to do it.
No, he can't. Because he knows Lana would have kicked his ass.
Yeah. And his little skiddly beep bop bow as he left at the end.
Yeah. I kind of thought they'd use the drug on him. The scopolamine or something?
Oh.
Scopolamine or something like that? It's not a real drug as far as I know. I hope it's not a real drug. I kind of thought they'd drug him and make him pay.
Yeah.
That would have been better, but... So it's kind of messed up that Mallory's immune to mind control drugs?
It is messed up, but it makes a lot of sense, though.
Yeah, it's sad that she has an immunity to that. Because the implication is that that's been done to her so many times. It's really...
She could have did it to herself to condition her.
Maybe. I don't see her ever leaving herself vulnerable like that, though. They mentioned the brain chip again. Which, neat. I guess Jeffrey Tambor's character is still like that, unfortunately. Poor guy.
Poor guy. It'd be nice to have him back.
Maybe, well, I mean, Archer had it in him and Cheryl seems fine. Maybe Krieger can just take the chip out.
That would take too long. Got a cameo in this episode from Milton.
Yes. Good old Milton.
While anime wife is still nowhere to be seen.
Well, she was earlier in the season, right?
I don't think so.
No, you're right. Maybe this isn't our Krieger.
Maybe it isn't. I also find it funny that Veronica Dean billboards are everywhere.
I guess she's on the comeback now.
I suppose so.
Something's up there.
Archer was only staring at it, right? I did not hear the erection sound, right?
I don't think he had one.
Yeah.
Also,
I noticed Lana getting upset, and I was like, wait, I didn't hear it.
Well, she keeps bringing it up. And Lana, you were no better in that situation. They need to get their crap together.
Yeah, I feel as though it was an artificial excuse to break them up.
Yeah. Like, I hate to compare this show to Friends, but when Ross and Rachel had a kid, the lengths they went to keep them from getting back together were ridiculous. They work better as a bickering couple than they do as exes that hate each other.
In a will they, won't they kind of way.
Yeah. Because it was never a won't they. They clearly, especially after Lana decided, you know what, I want Archer's kid, I think it's always going to be a will they. They kind of wrote themselves into a hole there.
Yeah, I guess they realized that they liked having them. They think they liked having them not be together, but...
Yeah. The waterboarding stuff was messed up.
Messed up, but I liked it when he was busting Slater's chops during it.
Yeah. That was a good place to end it on a commercial, though.
Oh, yeah, they were not going to show it.
Oh, no, but still, the vagina stuff. I'm sorry to everyone with vaginas.
Clearing your throat.
The thing with that is, it's been proven tortured people tell you what you want to hear.
Just to make it stop.
Yeah. So, Archer clearly wasn't telling the truth of that situation. So Lana got the answer she wanted, but not the answer that was true. I'm sure that'll come up.
Yeah.
Maybe Krieger will point it out. Next week's is a two-parter, so... And the finale.
Already?
Yep.
A 10-episode season.
Apparently. There's nothing else on the wiki.
So we're basically confirming that robot being in the pool. Got it.
Yeah. That robot or somebody in an Archer mask, but yeah. Maybe it's Milton.
No.
Milton in an Archer mask.
Milton finally downloaded his CPU into one of the bodies. Dies.
Well, let's talk about those robots. That was a very, very C-Lab-esque ending.
Very.
What is Krieger doing? Is what I want to know. He's been working on something this whole season.
His Zeitgeist machine and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I don't know.
This might not be our Krieger. I think they hit it on the head last season.
Well, they kind of just dropped it last season, but the fact is, you're right. I mean, if they confirm it now, that might be a good thing to do. But
I mean, Cheryl said, "Oh, and you're just trying to distract us from the fact that you're not our Krieger."
Well, she said our Krieger is worried he's not the real Krieger or something.
Oh.
And I mean, all the other clones died, so there's no way to know for sure.
That just seemed, when it ended, I was like, what?
Yeah.
I knew something was off when Mallory was starting to take orders from him. I was like, wait a minute, no.
Like,
She,
yeah, the way he glossed it over, he's like, oh, I just spritzed her again. I'm like, oh my god, did he chip Mallory?
Yeah, there's no, like, even if, I bet that same day if Krieger had tried to approach her, she would have stabbed him again with her heel.
Oh, definitely.
So, either he got really lucky or, yeah, he chipped her, or it's not her. And sure enough, not her.
I like that Ray was just very curious. He's sort of becoming a detective.
He might be the only one that'll get accredited somehow at the end of the season.
That would be hilarious.
Wait, how did you? I did legwork. That's ironic. I mean, bionic legwork.
Yeah. Not that that's been mattering much this season. He's been able to get out of several situations with Mr. Crushy Hand and Super Legs, but he hasn't done anything.
Yeah. This episode starts to give you, I guess, a feel of an overarching story going on in the background, but just can't see big picture just yet still.
Yeah, I don't know. This didn't really further any of the plots. I hate Slater, and the fact is they want us to hate him at this point. The fact that he went right to waterboarding.
I like him that he's awful.
Yeah.
But for that brief moment when him and Archer were like talking about Veronica Dean, where they're actually not antagonistic with each other.
Well, I think, yeah, like I said before, Slater is basically Archer with less morals. And that's why they hate each other.
Because Archer hates himself.
Well, no, it's not even that. I think the fact is they'd get along fine. But Slater crosses lines Archer won't. That's why Archer really hates the CIA. When he started busting out all that Geneva Convention stuff, or no, Nuremberg,
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, oh lord.
It would have been funny if they cut away to Krieger real fast. Huh. I have this feeling they were talking about me.
Those accords were signed because of Krieger, definitely. No. I think that's it for this episode. Not a lot of funny jokes.
Krieger getting beat up, though, was funny.
Oh, definitely. Still better than last week's, though, I have to say.
Double it.
And Slater's car got crushed. So that's fine with me. I don't know. We're not going to rate this. Better than last week's. Not the worst the season has put out, definitely.
Yeah, it almost felt like it's blurring that line between, do they want to go back to being, like, secret agents again, or are they still PIs? But last week was them trying to be more PI, but this week's trying to be more secret agent.
Yeah. I think they were just seeing which one would be received better. And last week was a weak premise, but I prefer episodes like that. If they can get them to be a little funnier. And maybe tie into the plot of the season a little better. I'd like more of last week's than more spy stuff, especially if it has to keep the CIA involved and they have to keep screwing up missions. So, yeah. Kind of weird that this is leading into the finale for the season, though.
Yeah.
If we were only going to get 10 episodes, it's kind of disappointing, but...
Stuff's got to get to a head really fast.
Yeah. That's probably why they did a two-parter, but still.
What's going to lead up to Archer being in that pool in Veronica house?
I know.
Like, is he gonna go see her and maybe, like, Lana? Like, it could be Lana that shoots him.
Yeah.
Like, it's implied, though, like, it's been said that she shot him before. But, I don't know.
Well, Lana shoots him all the time, but she's never shot him lethally.
Yeah, or maybe it could be Patton Oswalt's character shooting him because he's jealous.
Well, Dean doesn't want anything to do with Archer. She thinks he's a buffoon.
And if Dean's a double agent, then if Archer finds that out, then she'll...
Yeah.
But then again, since it's not supposed to, it's probably not going to be Archer. It's either A, Robot, or B, Mask.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Key and Peele agents, save us. Or
just,
whatever.
it's just Key, unfortunate. Or no, it's just Peele, actually. Peele and J.K. Simmons.
Finally remembered.
I edited it into the other episode to make sure, but... So yeah, that's going to be it for this week. Sorry if we're so down on this one, guys. I think the shorter season means that we're just going to be a little harsher on every episode. We'll probably go back and do the rest of the show at some point.
I could see that.
Yeah, I mean, we'll have time.
Oh, plenty of it, yeah,
Yeah.
while we wait for Rick and Morty.
Oh yeah, that's right, Rick and Morty should be in July. So yeah, maybe we'll go back and do season 1. I will see you next week for part 1. Just like the other 2-part episode we did, we're probably not going to rate it until both are out. But we'll still cover a recap and talk about it. So we'll see you next week.